One of the reasons why you cannot understand Russian natives is because we like to shorten our words. Imagine you learn the word magazin, store, shop, and then suddenly a Russian native says, "Я иду в магаз." You don't understand them, simply because you don't know that it's the same word, just a shortened version of it. But don't worry, this video will help you, because I'm gonna share with you 15 the most common Russian shortenings that we like using in our colloquial speech. So let's start. First, let's talk about why Russians like to shorten words. It's simple, we love efficiency. Why say long word when you can just say a part of it? But you have to understand that these forms, these short forms, we use only in colloquial daily life conversations, not in formal situations. Of course, it all depends on the person, because some people like to use them more, some people like to use them less. Sometimes even in formal situations, we will use some of these words because they became a part of our speech, because we use them more often than others. Don't worry, I will tell you which ones are super colloquial and which are a little bit better. Some people even hate to use all these words. They never use it. They don't like when other people use them because they think that only uneducated people will use these words, same as slang words or filler words. But you should understand that it's not like that, because not every Russian is a professor or philosopher, so people who will use always high society speech. No, we are simple people and everyone will use these words depending on the situation. I use them all the time, but obviously I use them among my friends in a group where I can speak informally. It doesn't make me uneducated. Another reason why I want you to know all these words, simply because you will hear them all the time and I want you to be prepared. I want you to be ready. In Russian movies, in Russian songs, you will hear all these words. So let's begin. I will tell you a full word and I will tell you a shortened version of it. The first one, the word that I already told you at the beginning of my video, that's magazin, and shortened form is магаз. Магазин, магаз. Я иду в магаз. Remember that this word will keep all the grammar rules. Despite the fact that it's shorter, it doesn't mean that we won't change it by the cases. We still will change it the same way as the full word. Like magazin, магаз, here it's not super clear because it's accusative case, masculine. We don't really change it. But if you're calling me and asking me «Где ты?», I can say «Я в магазе». Same as I would say «Я в магазине». The next word is университет, and shortened form is универ. Do you agree it's much easier to say универ instead of университет? In Russia, we even have a very famous TV show that we have on our TV for many years, and it's called Универ, simply because it's catchy, it's short, it's perfect for a TV show name. If it was called университет, it would be maybe a little bit weird. But универ, it's perfect. And we can say here, я учусь в универе. Then the next one, the word that you probably all know and you didn't even think that it's shorter than the normal, than the original word, that's the word фото from фотография. So фото, it's actually a shortened version of фотография. Я не люблю делать фото. Then the next word I like, that's the word телек. Телек, that's from телевизор. Телек, телевизор. Давай посмотрим телек. The next one, very common word to use, комп from computer. Комп. Я сижу за компом. The next one is инет from internet. Надо заплатить за инет. The next one is doc from document. Also, it could be doctor, depending on the situation you're in. But usually, doc, документ. Отправь мне ссылку на наш док. The next one is клава from клавиатура. Мне нужна новая клава. The next one, also very common word to use everywhere, not only in informal situations, that's спортзал. Спортзал is a shortened form from two words, from спортивный зал. Sometimes we even say зал. So instead of saying «я иду в спортзал», we could say «я иду в зал». And if the context is obvious, it'll be clear that you're going to a gym. The next one is related to the previous one, is the word тренер from тренировка. Тренер is very colloquial, so we won't use it in normal formal conversations. But to my friends, I can say «Я иду на треню в зал». So I connected them. «Я иду на треню в зал». The next one is very colloquial, and to some people it could sound a little bit offensive. That's the word препод from преподаватель. You understand why we decided to shorten this word, because even Russians don't like saying преподаватель. So if someone will call me препод instead of преподаватель, for me it's fine, depending on the context, who's talking to me, and depending in what situation this person is using this word. But for me it's not offensive, but for some teachers, for some professors, it could be offensive. You could use it in a negative context. For instance, you could say «Мне не нравится этот препод». But you could use it also in a positive way. «Мне нравится этот препод». The next one also a shortened form from two words. Домашняя работа. Homework. And you could say домашка. Simply. Я не люблю делать домашку. The next one, also another word for students, that's the word общага. Общага comes from общежитие. Я никогда не жила в общаге. The next one, another shortening for two words, стиралка. Стиралка, that's for стиральная машина. So you see, for washing machine, if you don't want to say стиральная машина, you could simply say стиралка. And that's what we do. I can say here, у меня хорошая стиралка. And the last one is very similar to the previous one, but it's about dishwashing machine. So посудомойка instead of посудомоечная машина. I would say here, у меня нет посудомойки. These words are common and easy to use. Try incorporating them in your Russian conversations with friends and you will sound more natural. Let me know in the comments below which of these shortenings you knew before and which of them you liked. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and to subscribe to this channel for more tips on learning Russian. Thank you very much for watching.